Welcome to Hi Felicia. Hi Felicia, hi Felicia.
Episode 12, baby. You're giggling, but I never get sick of it. You do.
Every time you play that, I giggle.
Every time. Wow. I don't even know where to begin other than I might be a little cranky. I'm tired. I got back from San Francisco last night and Mama was stressing about watching all her shows while she was away. But I think I did a good job. But you just said what?
I just said I watched a lot that you might be surprised at.
I'm sure you watched more than I did because
sure
you were home all week.
Home all the time. I have no life.
But before, and that's not true, you have a life because that's what we're going to get into. Felicia, I have a source. Last night, Felicia went out at the Clubhouse. They had a special night, and my source, Ellen, Felicia's friend that she talks about all the time, sent me a video.
Right.
Do you know she sent me the video?
I know she did.
Said that you were the star of the night. Tell us, and we will have to show this on social. Casey, make a note. What happened last night?
Well, first of all, they had a comedian who I can't remember his name. He was very good. They had over 150 people there, and there was a magician who apparently was on America's Got Talent. Ooh. I don't know what season.
You didn't get a name?
I have a name, which is quite shocking that I actually
talk into the microphone.
Dan Natcherman, something like that. He's like 30, 31. He was adorable. Young, yeah. He was so terrific. Everybody could not believe it. It was probably the best show we've ever seen, or the best show I've ever seen in the 2 years that I lived there. And everybody said the same thing. It was the best thing we have ever seen.
Was he doing like magic tricks or more like mentalist stuff?
Magic tricks, which were amazing. And apparently I had a drink, and when I go to the bartender, I go, double it, a double shot, no ice, splash of whatever.
Like vodka.
Always vodka, yes.
Oh my
always.
God. So you got tipsy.
So whatever. And he asked for like volunteer, blah, blah, blah. And my hand shot. I was also on the first row, which Ellen and David made sure we were all in the first row. They ran in there at 6:15. The show was at 7. I went, why are we here so early? Anyway.
Your hand shoots up.
And he picks me for this particular whatever it was. And being the way I am, I kind of put myself out there.
So it just explains. So you got picked and a man got picked.
And a man got picked. So I had no idea who he was or anything.
Let alone really side note, when I showed Lennon, my son, the video, he goes, you have a new daddy. That's going to be your daddy.
I don't even remember his name. And he said we were going to be like twins, which means he sat in one chair, I sat in another chair, far away from each other. And he said, when you feel a tap, raise your right hand or raise your left hand, and he tap my ear, tap my head, whatever. And he puts blindfolds on you. And being on stage, who doesn't love being on stage? And the man really was kind of quiet and nothing like the crazy me. And he's doing it, and I'm raising my hand, and everyone's laughing.
But were you feeling taps?
Yes. Here's the thing. I was feeling taps, and he said, raise your left hand, whatever.
Yeah.
After I had I had like a lightweight jacket on, and I started getting really warm, and I threw it into the stage.
Oh, I didn't see that on video.
No, she didn't put that on video.
You started stripping?
No, just the jacket. And luckily,
just let's do naked attraction.
Right. And luckily, the girl, she caught it. The girl I was sitting next to. I don't even know how afterwards, when I came down, she said, did you know he was tapped? Yeah,
that's what people want to know. When you see the video.
First of all, he did never tap me. I felt as he was tapping the man.
So the idea was let's get these two on the same level.
Right.
When I tap him, you'll feel it.
I didn't
You
know
really
that.
thought he was tapping you.
Absolutely.
So when everyone asked you, was that real? Was that real?
And I went, and they said, he didn't tap you. I went, no, get out of here.
You really thought you were being tapped?
Absolutely.
So what do you think the magic? How did they do that?
Nobody,
how did they do that?
Nobody can understand. And then after me, there was another bit. Ellen went up, something with the phone. Hysterical. Then David, we were like all of you,
all of you Jews got up there.
But no, it was like the fact that the three of us are from the same building, and of course Ellen and David are husband and wife.
Okay, I think you as a podcast host now. I hope went up to him afterwards and said, "I would love to give a shout out and promote you because I'm so well known."
I can't do that. I can't do that.
You couldn't get his name. Proper Dave Nucherman.
Well,
get his proper name. Is that how it's said?
It's the first name, Dave. Dan.
Natura Man.
All right,
Is
whatever.
that really a name?
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, that's a name.
that's a
Okay,
name.
but he was on America's Got Talent. I wonder what that cost the club. How much were the tickets?
Not $35, which is really cheap.
Did he say where he was from? Is he like on tour?
No, but there was a comedian who apparently we didn't know he was from, but Lois looked it up. He was from Oceanside.
Stop. And you don't have a name?
No, he was in his 50s. So I figured,
Mom,
you
gotta
guys
do the work, man. I'm sorry.
I
But so this was a big night.
Big night.
You
a lot
had
of fun.
You had a lot of fun.
We left. The entire place thought it was the best night.
Wow.
It was so much fun.
So do you think your friends in
Let my people go.
Florida will have FOMO that they missed it?
Nah.
You have some Florida peeps. Karen's in Florida.
Karen's in Florida. She saw the
Penny's
video.
probably in Florida. All the Jews are in Florida. Penny,
No,
Karen,
Penny
Jew-
saw the show. Penny was up here.
Okay.
Penny
Well,
was up
I'm
here.
glad that you were the star of the night. And
I don't know if I
can't-
was a star, but it
one
was
of the
very funny.
stars.
We had a lot of fun.
I can't wait to share this video with everybody. All right, there's a lots of news. Obviously, elephant in the room. We can't not mention the Kate Middleton update. I mean, I was on a flight yesterday from California, and for some reason the Wi-Fi wasn't working, just for me, of course. And I landed, and everyone's like, it's blowing up. Kate has cancer. Wow.
Stomach cancer. Stomach?
They
Colon?
didn't. They didn't say.
You're right.
They didn't
But we have to assume it's.
And now there's new. It's just so frustrating. No,
leave this
now
girl
there's
alone.
more theories. Like, is that really her? Now she doesn't have a mole. She used to have a mole. What did they do to her face? It's like, I can't. It's just, but they should have gotten ahead of it earlier. Don't you think they should have made this announcement?
Okay, first of all, that's
few
not
weeks
her
ago?
fault. That's not her fault.
No,
That's
it's the whatever the fucking they call it.
Whatever
they
what do they call it? What do they call it?
Something on the
oh,
crown.
geez, it's like a company. The company or something. I
Is it the
forget.
company? Is it the company?
I think I'm not sure. But
Casey, Google this. Is it the
I'm not
company?
sure. But it's their fault, not hers.
It is their fault.
Yeah,
Shame on them.
Shame on them. But it's not her.
Do you have any thoughts? I mean, I feel bad.
I feel really bad for her. And
feel
leave her
bad.
alone. Leave them alone.
I know. I'm happy she came out on video. I thought she looked fine, but they're saying maybe that wasn't her. Or maybe it must have been her.
know,
Maybe they photoshopped
really?
or color corrected a mole. Like who fucking cares?
God almighty.
This poor girl with all these children.
Leave her alone. She got all. What does she have? 12 children? She has 3 children.
That's a lot of kids, more than I have.
Well, she's got a lot of
children.
help. You don't.
That's true. I mean, I do
you
have
have
help.
Casey. You
And
do have
Well,
Casey.
Felicia, you're the help.
Yeah. Well,
Once a week help.
anyway.
So we just had to give a shout out to Kate Middleton. We're sorry. And,
And feel better.
because you're definitely listening to this podcast.
Definitely. Right.
And, drop all the theories, people. It's just so annoying. So there's some Housewives news. Do you remember when we were doing the recap of the Bev Hills reunion? I was like, that chick, Anna Marie.
Right.
I was like, she does not deserve a spot on that couch. Homegirl got fired.
Oh.
She ain't coming back. And I'm not going to miss her. And she came out with a whole statement. She's
course
so
she did.
disappointed. She's like, I didn't, reach out to be on the show. They casted me. Like,
It's hard to step into that.
of course it is. But we got
Very hard for
Potomac and Atlanta
anybody.
for that. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
She got let go. And Karen Huger was charged with a DUI from Potomac.
Oh.
And she's like the oldest one on that show.
Yes, she is.
You know about Karen?
Yes.
What?
I've seen her. I've seen her on,
Really?
obviously,
All right,
Yeah.
Fel. So that's that news. Also, what do you think about this? Travis Kelce and talks to host a celebrity version of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader on Amazon Prime. This to me sounds so fucking thirsty. It's like, Travis, do you really need to host a fucking game show? Sit down, boy. Play your football, host your podcast, be Taylor's boyfriend. Felicia is like, what do you want to say?
I want to say the whole thing is ridiculous and I don't want to hear about them anymore.
She's done with that.
I'm waiting, they're going to break up next week, whatever.
And you did try to watch the Taylor.
I did.
Show,
and then I went, I
movie,
can't. I'm
musical.
not 12. I can't.
You felt like you weren't 12.
Yeah.
Do you think if I was a kid right now, I'd be like a T-Swizz?
Absolutely.
Because I was really into Debbie Gibson and Tiffany.
Yes, you are. And
But I wasn't like diehard New Kids. There were some diehard New Kids on the block. That wasn't me. Like I wasn't like,
I think you liked NSYNC.
Mom, I'm so upset with you right now. That was not the same era. I can't believe you just brought up NSYNC. I'm talking 80s when I was in elementary school. NSYNC came out when I was in high school, and I actually was more of a Backstreet than NSYNC. So what are you? I never
sorry.
even seen.
Who could remember
I never
that?
even seen NSYNC in person. Just JT. Side note: I listened to that whole new album, and I'm very disappointed.
Mention who's
Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
I'm a little. You're right. I'm a little disappointed. I hit up one of his biggest fans, this girl I know, Jill. I don't know if you listen to this podcast. I think you do. We went to camp together. She's a huge, huge follower of his. Like she goes to every one of his concerts. I'm like, what do you think of this album? She's like, it's not that good. I'm a little upset. Nine Perfect Strangers with Nicole Kidman coming back for a second season. And Annie Murphy from Schitt's Creek is going to be on it. And my favorite, Murray Bartlett from The White Lotus and from The Last of Us.
Okay.
Episode 3.
I'll have
the best
to.
The best episode with, Nick Offerman.
That's.
Did you do
right.
Nine Perfect Strangers season 1?
Yes, I did.
I'm down. It was a book. You want to extend the book and
Ask
go
me if
for
I
it?
remember anything about it.
No, but she was like a crazy, like culty type of like the
Right.
spa.
Oh, yes. They went to like a spa type of.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're taking drugs. Like, I'm down for that.
Got it.
That was
Okay.
on Hulu. I'm down for
Right.
that.
Got it.
In surprising news, and this is, I had to like message Jordan Brodsky about this. They are going to turn the Natalia Grace story, the dwarf that I talk about a lot.
Don't say the little
person. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. Ellen Pompey and Mark Duplass are going to be in it.
Oh. Wow.
And Ellen Pompey never steps away from Grace. Very rare. She's playing the wife, Christina Bartlett, and Duplass, who I love. He's from The Morning Show.
Okay.
You know, he was like Jennifer Aniston's producer.
Right.
I love the Duplass brothers. I think they're a team. So that is like super exciting for me. And Felicia, did you know NBC renews Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD for next season?
Not surprised.
Are you still watching that shit?
I have it on DVR, and occasionally I flip over and I'm getting bored of.
You're getting bored of
I'm getting bored. You know, anytime a show goes on for year after year after year, I kind of lose
you're over
interest.
it.
Like,
You're over
I'm
it.
sorry,
Like Grace.
Law and Order, which I love.
Oh, shit.
But I'm getting tired of it.
She over Law and Order?
I don't know. I'm not over it. I just don't like get excited.
You're
like,
not like
I'm
running
not
to
running
the
to watch it.
television.
No, I'm
Because
not.
there's so many other things to watch.
There's so much. I don't have. There's
And
not
this is
enough.
why cable's
not
going
enough.
away.
Not enough. Exactly. Not
It's a
enough
real-
hours in the day.
It's crazy.
Can I tell you what I did watch? Which
Stand by. Circumcised Gems. I was going to start, but if you want to lead the charge, let's go, Felicia.
I watched.
Here we go.
Roadhouse.
Stop it! Oh my God, I downloaded it for the play, and I was so tired I couldn't watch it. You watched Roadhouse. I'm so proud of you. Hold on. I'm high-fiving Phil. I cannot believe you did it. Jake Gyllenhaal is so fucking hot. What did you think?
Well, it's kind of like I thought it was going to be like Roadhouse with.
Do you remember the one with Patrick Swayze?
Of course I do.
Enough? Like
yes, and yes.
Wow.
But it was not really quite like that.
Wow.
I mean, he was like a bouncer, but that's where it ended.
Really?
It was very. There was a lot of fighting, lots of
Because
fighting.
isn't that dude Colin?
Yes,
McGregor?
McGregor, yes,
Right,
yes,
and he's,
yes,
I think,
yes.
a UFC. He's a fighter.
Yeah. I mean, the body on Jake. He must have worked out like an insane man. It was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but it was but you have to know what you're getting into.
But it wasn't too long.
No, which is why it was a movie. It was like an hour and change.
I gotta say, like, Felicia wouldn't have gone to the theaters to see this. And the director, remember, was very upset because the studio told him he was going to go to the theaters. And he was like boycotting premieres at South by. He ended up showing up at South by.
Okay.
But he was upset that it was going straight to Prime. But look, lo and behold, you saw it.
I saw it and I would have never seen it in
never.
the theater, ever.
Wow.
It just kind of like, he goes, after all the fighting and blah, 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 with all the bad guys, he just gets on a bus and leaves.
You're just
because
hold on. Did you
I'm
just?
I'm
did
sorry.
you just spoil it?
I'm sorry. I forget that it just came out
Literally like a day ago.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if that was the end of the Patrick Swayze one. I don't remember.
Patrick,
you
it
remember?
was. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot.
Is there a love interest for Jake G?
Very slight.
They had
yes.
to. The studios were like, you gotta give him a
a
girl.
like a nanosecond.
Was she famous? Was she hot?
Well, she was
so
pretty. I don't know if she was famous, but I don't know her name.
Felicia, do you recommend this movie? I want to watch it.
I think men would love it.
Really?
Yes.
Like a Casey man or like a... I'm trying to think what kind of man. Felicia's just dying.
I don't know if it was a Casey. I mean, it's a lot of like boxing or that.
Casey's
what
not
is
like
that?
a
What is
fighter.
it? What is what do you call
MM.
it?
Oh, it's like MMA, mixed martial arts.
Right, and I think a lot of men would like that.
Yeah, so
certainly more than women. It's a lot of fighting.
If you like a hottie
but
who's got a good body.
All right. Okay,
Hottie that's got a good body.
I mean, Jake, you can't pass over Jake.
love him so much.
Jake was the best.
One of my favorite movies, and it's one of the few movies I do a rewatch on, is what he did with Anne Hathaway. I think it was called Love and Other Drugs. where he's the pharmaceutical
I did see
rep.
that. That's right.
And she's like, I feel like she's got like a neurological
Yeah, she
autoimmune
had some
disorder.
sort of issue.
I fucking love that movie, and I will rewatch it over and over again.
That.
It's a great.
I mean, I did see it, but
it's a great rewatch.
That was a while ago.
It was. He's like selling like a Viagra of some sort. I just want to say this. I watched it in the bathroom. I watched it in an Uber. I watched it in the middle of the night. I had to watch the new The Valley with Jax Taylor. You guys were like, boycott him, fuck him. Listen to this. So I did the Vanderpump Fine. It ends with Jax fucking showing up and talking to the boys. Obviously, way to like, give us the leadway into The Valley. Now, The Valley opens up on Jax and Brittany. And the first thing out of Jax's mouth is, I have like 34 cameos to record. And I was like, that's so funny because like we have the cameo. And you're watching it and you're realizing, I forgot how much of a douchebag Jax Taylor is. And then you're also watching and going, I didn't know there could be more douchey men out there.
There are a lot of douchey
And there's
men.
another guy on the show named Jesse, and I think his separation's already been announced, and he's such an asshole. But then midway through the show, this is what got me. I wrote this down. The boys, obviously on reality TV, you always need to like find a place for the boys to hang out, whether it's like the ox throwing or the bowling. Now they're doing the golfing, indoor golf with the simulator. And Kristen Doute's got this boyfriend, Luke. Poor Luke. Luke is from Colorado, owns like acres of land, like chopping wood, and is spending the summer here now to be with her. And they're trying to have a baby. And this guy just does not belong in this douchebag group. Like this is a guy that would like hang out with Casey.
Nice guy. He's a nice guy.
And you know what this guy says to Jax Taylor? When are you gonna unblock me? You blocked me. Mic drop sound effect and now. I was like, holy shit. He's not just blocking like strangers like me. He's blocking people he knows. He is a fucking lunatic. He blocks anybody that bothers him, anybody that sneezes the wrong way. He was like, oh, well, I blocked you and Kristen because like, oh, I blocked you? Like, yeah, because like you and Kristen were like saying something. Like, he's such an a-hole. And that's really what I took away from this week's episode of The Valley.
Just for everybody to know, I am no longer watching any of those shows.
Mom, we know you're no
but
longer watching.
I'm restating it because I just cannot.
Because we've got new listeners.
Just in case, I just
You're
cannot.
not doing any of it.
I'm not.
You did do the Housewives reunion.
Yes, because you told me to.
I
And
told
it's
you
just,
to.
I told you.
What do you think
popped
about
up.
all the drama now going on with Buying Beverly Hills? Mauricio's show is apparently getting all the good footage of.
There you go.
And now I'm just watching online. I'm not watching that show.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick in just to watch the douchebags. It should be called the douchebags instead of the Valley. And I'm happy that Brittany decided to separate. I think it was her decision to separate from Jax because he is such.
God, her parents must have said, I told you so. I told you so.
I wonder.
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He got her famous. That's the thing. She wanted to be famous.
Okay, great.
She wanted to be famous.
For all the wrong reasons.
What other shows that you're going to drop on me?
Okay, so I watched, maybe you don't know, Irish Wish.
Stop it right now. Stop it right now.
Wait,
the
wait,
La La
wait,
Lohan
wait.
movie. The La La Lohan movie.
I couldn't finish it.
Wow.
Not because it was terrible, because it wasn't fabulous.
Well,
I mean,
I can't believe
and
you
then
watched
I watched. No, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched.
What
maybe,
made you decide?
I just because
You're
I guess
flipping.
I just thought maybe Marni would like if I watched this, and I
Thank you for
tried.
doing our homework.
And I was kind of
No,
curious.
it wasn't
about-
homework. Just thank you for doing one for the team.
right? And it was Netflix.
Yes.
and I tried.
She's got to deal with Netflix.
Of course she does. I mean, she looked really good.
She looked good.
She looked good. Yeah. Was she or how old is she?
She's definitely not my age.
she older or younger?
She's younger, Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't remember any
Lohan's
of this.
younger.
I mean, then you look better than her. And she had a crap load of makeup
She's had
on.
a lot of work
obviously.
done, too.
And good for her. I mean, it was, cute, but I couldn't finish it.
Why couldn't you finish it?
Because it's not for me anymore.
She's 37.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, I got like 5
maybe,
years on her.
Maybe if there's nothing on, I'll go back and finish it.
What?
Maybe.
See, you can't. You can't fast forward a movie and go to the end.
Well, I can, but
like, that's like-
but
why
it's
would
a
you do that in a
short
stupid movie?
You know what? It's a stupid movie and it's not long.
So do you recommend it? Like maybe this is a movie you could put on in the background of something. Like, did you feel like you had to pay attention? What's the log line here? What's the story? Did you just look at me like you didn't know what log line meant?
No, I did not know what that meant until you, and now I know what it means.
Log line is like, what's the elevator pitch?
She's like a publisher type of thing, and meets a guy, and she's helping him write, and she thinks she's in love with him. I don't want to give the whole thing away.
Oh, this you don't want to spoil.
You're right. It was whatever.
Hold on. Where did it take place?
Well, most of it took place in Ireland.
Do you think they filmed it in Ireland? Definitely not.
Yeah, I
don't think they filmed
did.
it in Vancouver?
Oh, it's hard to tell. They could have done that.
Was there a hot love interest?
I didn't get that far.
What? You didn't even get to the love interest?
Because she meets somebody else. Because I couldn't.
How much did you watch? 20 minutes?
No, maybe a half hour.
Okay.
It took a while to get to Ireland.
Was the wardrobe good?
It was okay. I just didn't love it.
So the idea is like she's Irish.
No, the guy is Irish, and I don't want to give it away for any of those who maybe.
I think it's funny
it.
that this is what you don't want to give away.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry.
All right,
but
what else did you do this week?
I also
while
watched
I was away.
3 Body Problem.
Okay, this is huge. Did you finish it?
I watched the entire thing, 8 episodes.
I can't.
Yes.
I got to tell you, my friend Emily, New York production Emily texted me, "Are you watching it?" I said, "Not yet, but Felicia's watching it." She goes, "I want to hear what Felicia has to say."
Okay, first of all, I love sci-fi fantasy.
And you love Koreans.
Well, it wasn't because they were technically Chinese. I don't know. It was British. I don't know if it was Chinese or the British just used all their Chinese actors.
Okay.
I don't know. It was good. Hard to understand in the beginning. For me,
Okay.
because I'm not a techie and I don't understand a lot of it. However, by the 3rd episode, it was like, oh, okay. I'm not going to give it away. I don't want to give it away.
Shocker.
I don't want to give that away because I think it's worth a watch.
This is huge.
Yes, this is worth a watch.
This is from the creators of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
It's 8 episodes. It's on Netflix.
Yes, and I recognize 2 people.
Okay.
Jonathan Pryce, I don't know if you know him. He's an older actor. He's British. He's been in a lot of things, and I can't tell you what he's been in.
Okay.
And one of the guys from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
The chubby, the heavy one. I don't
the
want
one
sorry.
who goes. The one who goes. Oh, what's his name? Casey Odor.
I don't think it was him.
No, he says it like Odor.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Hodor.
we watched the trailer. Casey, we got word from a source that this is going to be like people are going to be talking about this. This is going to be an
Really?
amazing show.
Oh,
a film
okay.
critic that Casey
All
knows.
right. Okay.
And I said to Casey, "Let's start this right now." And he looked at me with a death stare and said, "No, you are not doing the show without me." He got so mad at me. He's like, "Let's do this one
it's 8
together."
episodes. It's a commitment.
I understand it's a commitment, but I don't got time.
I know you don't have
to
time.
wait for I don't know.
time.
This is a show I want to speed through, and it's gonna take me a while to watch it if I'm waiting for my husband. And I know this is a big topic of conversation for many couples, watching without your partner. And I'm gonna try my hardest. I finished Apples Never Fall without him. I gave him that warning. Finished that on the plane. Then he continued to finish it. I was happy with that show. I'm fine with it. I think it's worth a watch.
It's worth a watch.
So this show, 3 Body Problems,
Yes.
is worth it.
Absolutely.
Felicia's not going to ruin it for us.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
Thank you, Felicia.
Yes.
Let's talk about, I know you watched it because this was your homework, the Oprah Special.
Yes, I did.
So I will say this, right away, just seeing her on her set made me really miss her show.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's the same set as she had.
well, I'm sure
the same
it did, but
set,
that was
obviously,
the idea, wherever they filmed
right,
it.
Right,
I was
right.
like, homegirl needs to get back.
I'm also. I can't believe she's pushing. I can't believe she's on board with it.
You
I mean,
really?
she had doctors and psychologists.
Well, she had 2 pharmaceuticals that are pushing it.
Yeah, right.
Sitting
Well,
next to each other.
They're pushing their brand.
Right, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, okay.
The head of Weight Watchers giving her approval for leaving Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
So what do you think as someone that has struggled with her weight?
Since I am 16.
Tell us, you've struggled with your weight. Does this make you upset? I want to hear.
I cannot understand how she can push it because you cannot be, unless you're a diabetic, obviously, you can't be on that drug for the rest of your life. We all know anybody who's struggled with their weight, and trust me, I know a lot of people, including certainly myself. The minute you go off of something, whether it's Weight Watch, whatever diet
it is.
program it is, it takes so much mental concentration to really stick with it forever. You can't. And certainly you can't stick with a drug like that. I don't think you can. In my
because
opinion.
didn't somebody say, so you have to stay on this for the rest of your life? And
Yes.
I think somebody said,
Yeah. Now, yeah.
And I thought, they really were pushing the idea of obesity is a disease alcoholism. They kept comparing it to alcoholism.
I get that because it's really difficult. And I never thought of myself as obese. I've always been
correct
30 pounds heavy.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was 300 pounds heavy. And I get it for somebody who's morbid. They call it morbidly obese.
Right.
You do need there. It is a disease for somebody like it is. Listen, I love eating. I love me a bagel, as Craig used to say. Put down the bagel. I love it, but I now for some reason I lost my interest in all that. I don't know why. I have no idea. Maybe it's my age. Maybe I'm alone. I don't have to cook. Making dinner.
Do you think like 10 years ago, or like when you were struggling, when you started Weight Watchers, like lo and behold, Felicia lost 80 pounds on Weight Watchers and was like too skinny at one point. But do you think at that point, if this drug came out, you would have went to your doctor? Can I go on this?
I would have never done that.
Really?
No, because first of all, the fact that unless they change the law, you have to pay for that, and it's like $1,000 a month if you stick with it, which I can't even fathom paying that much money.
Right.
Unless you're diabetic, and then you have a legitimate reason.
The insurance will cover it.
Right. The insurance will cover it. But no, I couldn't do that.
I have to tell you, a dear friend of mine, Joanna Candell, she's in Florida. She founded the National Alliance for Eating Disorders. And they put out a statement about this.
Oh.
They're very upset. So
yes, I'm sure they are.
The Collaborative of Eating Disorders, it's basically like a number of nonprofits that are all working together. And they came out and they said this special, unfortunately, perpetuates diet culture and anti-fat bias, which can often fuel the development of eating disorder and disordered eating. And they never mentioned that.
No, they never did.
mentioned
they
that.
never
And
did.
maybe they should have.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they should have mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like disappointed in Oprah.
It is kind of fucked up that she's pushing this drug.
I mean, she looked great.
She looks great.
She looked great. Look, if I had her money, I'd look great also. And if I had a chef and a cook and I hope I would look good. But
she doesn't need a chef. She doesn't need to eat if she's on Ozempic.
well, still have to eat. Anyway, it's just I didn't love it. I liked the show. I just did not like.
Did you watch the after show?
Yes, I did. I
Yeah.
watched the whole thing. Yeah, I
Just
didn't like it. It's Oprah. We love Oprah. I love Oprah. Slightly disappointed in her pushing Ozempic. I realize it's worked for her. It can work for her. Let's see what happens in a few years. She's going to be horrified if she gains the weight back in 3 years, like she does all the time. And everybody does. I don't mean it's just her.
I did appreciate that they had the woman who was like, "This wasn't for me." Like I was nauseous.
it doesn't work on it. Yeah, and that.
But then they're
yeah.
like, then the doctor was like, well, then switch different. Go on a different one.
Right. Yeah.
I was like,
really?
Yeah.
I know.
Did you do Palm Royale?
No, because I was watching so many other things. But
did you start Palm Royale?
I put it on for like 5 minutes. I don't know. Maybe it was too glossy. Maybe it was too late 50s, early 60s. It was just so Miami. It was Palm Beachy, obviously. It was Palm Beach.
I gotta tell you.
But
I watched the first episode and I was like, wait. I was like, fuck, this is not good. I was like, I was like, this trailer got me.
Right.
Like, am I going through Feud again where like the trailer was so great?
Right.
I was getting Feud vibes.
Interesting.
But I was like, let me stick with it. So I watched all 3 episodes on the plane. I don't know. I felt like the Kristen Wiig character was like very SNL-y.
Right.
There were points where I was like, is she doing an SNL bit? I'm going to stick with it. I'm definitely sticking with it. I think Allison Janney's the star of this. But at points I was like, is this Feud meets Bridgerton? Like there's a moment where they're getting like the newspaper and they're all talking about the gossip. It was like, I will say, did you see Laura Dern in it yet?
I know, because I only gave it.
I don't know if it's the lighting or like the filtering, but Laura Dern and Ricky Martin look like their faces just look so like
filtered.
Yeah.
So made up.
Yeah.
So
Laura Dern looks
distorted.
good. But I don't know. I would love to hear what people's thoughts are. I'm going to stick with it. Kristen Wiig and Laura Dern are executive producers.
There you go.
Of course.
Well, it was Laura Dern's project. She brought it to Kristen Wiig. And she's been sitting on this for quite a while. I guess trying to.
How do you know this?
I don't know because they've been promoting it like crazy this past week on all the talk.
Because you're home watching everything.
I have no life. But okay,
I'll continue. I'm curious where this goes. I didn't love it. I'm going to put this out there. Are you surprised that I didn't love it?
Because that's how I felt, and I only needed 10, 15 minutes, and I didn't love it.
But it does start to get a little better.
We hope.
I'm telling you.
All right.
Episode 2
I might,
and episode 3.
If I have nothing.
I feel like it's so campy.
It is maybe that's what it is. It's
was
campy.
so
and I think
campy.
and I think at my age, it's like, I'm going to throw up. With the campy, I can't. I just can't. I'm not
like a little
interested in
obnoxious.
campy. Yeah, I'm not interested.
I really feel like they're pushing recently. Maybe it's because the success of the Housewives, just the idea of people being rich. I guess that's all of it. Like the White Lotus, like all these shows about rich people. We like, people like to see rich people going down. Succession.
Well, they might go down. You never know.
White Lotus.
Right.
So someone's going to go down in this show because the trailer shows it.
Right.
So, Mom.
Yes.
I think you have fans that
Wait. Can we just finish on this? Can we finish the next
Palm
show?
Royale?
No, the next show.
We're not. I told you that's the next segment.
Oh, sorry.
Let's give a minute for this.
Okay.
People are intrigued by your Korean minute, Mom. I need to put a minute on the clock. Stand by. And I know Mama had time to watch something Korean this week. Listen, we've got some new listeners, and I think people really appreciate that you watch the Korean stuff. So 60 minutes, not 60 minutes, 60 seconds.
60 minutes.
Can you imagine?
No.
All right, start now.
Okay, so most of the new shows, when they come out, they drop 2 a weekend, like Saturday and Sunday. But most of them are 16 episodes, Korean-wise. Chinese episodes can be like 60 or 70, and it's like, I don't have the time for that. Anyway, I had my hair done this morning, and the girl who does my hair is Asian. And a few weeks ago, when I was there last time, I started talking to her about this, and I gave her some of the shows that I watched. And this morning, she said, "Oh my God, Felicia, when I saw your name, I can't." She says, "I'm so excited you were coming in. I watched what you recommended." Because we watched so many, she forgot what she And so I told her to write it down next time. And she forgot. Anyway, I'm finishing up Flex Cop, which is on Hulu. Impossible Heirs, which I have not finished up. It's only like the 6th or 7th. I haven't started it because I did start it. It's just that I didn't have time today because Oops.
People love your minute. Wait, you didn't have time today. Are
Right.
you watching anything else? I got to give you more than a 60. That's it.
I'm watching shit on.
Shit on what, Vicky?
Yeah.
You could curse. We know.
Oh, right. I forgot.
My God.
Yeah, Vicky, I love because I get to watch a lot of the old stuff, which is not.
It's crazy to me that you repeat stuff.
I do. Some of it I just love.
People love talking to you about the Korean stuff.
And as do I, because most Jewish American white women don't watch this, except my insane friends. I have 2 of them who got me started. And when we're on the phone, I'm on it. I talk to them about it for 2 hours.
I got to give a shout out to something because it was announced this week. So I was going to talk about this last week and I didn't. Casey and I saw a show 2 weeks ago at the Park Avenue Armory called Illinois. And it was like a musical. And it basically covers the Sufjan Stevens album Illinois from 2005. There's a band on stage. Casey loved it. I saw it with my 2 New York Emilys, and they were crying. I don't cry. I would have cried if I could have. You will die for this show because it's all modern dance. The story is not like a musical. Their band is singing while dancers are dancing out the story.
Oh.
And it was so good. And I kept saying to myself, this has to get to Broadway. And they just announced it's coming to Broadway for, I believe, 16 weeks. Now, when we saw it, it was 1 more week at Park Avenue Armory, sold out. All it takes is like one celebrity. Like, I'll never forget when Sarah Jessica Parker posted about Hamilton. The minute she posted about Hamilton, before the Hamilton craze, I said to you, we got to get tickets for this. And we saw it before it was even nominated for a Tony Award.
Right.
This apparently is coming out to meet the Tony's deadline.
Right.
I will see this show. I think you need to see this show.
I can't go to I need to see it with you again. Would
Obviously.
you see it again? All right.
The dancing was moving to tears.
Well,
dancing.
When they start putting the tickets out, let's do this.
Will you buy them?
Yeah. I cannot. I don't know. Apparently, I have no longer can go into the city by myself.
I don't blame you, girl.
I really can't. I can't drive any. The train gets me confused.
I'm going to recommend for everybody who loves dancing. And I
do.
swear to God, Mom, I'm watching this. I'm like, this is like dance life. Like, it brought me back to that. The choreography was amazing. When we left the show, we saw the dancers in the lobby and the band. We were talking to them, and I was like, this is amazing. I just felt like it was a breath of fresh air. I felt like enlightened. I felt inspired. I just felt like moved by it. It was just so beautiful.
Well, like I said, when the tickets go on sale, you and me.
Copy that. So this is what we're moving to. Uncut, man. This was a big one this week. And I know everyone's been talking about it, and it's like a little overdone, but I have to discuss Quite on Set.
Yes.
The 4-episode drop on Max, and Jesus fucking Christ.
Very disturbing.
Where the F were the bosses above these people?
Because money.
Where was the network?
Because they cover it up because they don't care. Then, especially now it's the whole Me Too thing. They wouldn't do that.
Can't.
But I was horrified for all of them. And it was back. What was it? The 80s, 90s.
So here's what's crazy. I grew up on Nickelodeon.
Yes, you did.
And a lot of it was actually after me growing up on it. I loved all that. But Amanda Bynes was after I was like Clarissa Explains It All.
I wonder if that's why she lost her mind because of all those.
1,000% Amanda Bynes is the way she is.
Yeah.
But just starting off with episode 1, when these 2 writer females had to share a salary,
right?
I thought, my God, thank God I'm in production now and not back then.
Right. And
the audacity.
And everybody was so scared. They wanted to keep working and they wanted to, come up and they were so afraid of losing their jobs or getting blacklisted or, getting bad mouthed or whatever.
So effing crazy.
Right.
And I wonder if Dan Schneider or any of these men did anything to Amanda Bynes. But why she's so messed up? Or is it just I watch it and I'm like, oh my God, thank God I don't have a kid who wants to be an actor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there's child actors that came out well, like Natalie Portman. There's a right way to do it.
I think Neil Patrick Harris came out great. I mean, he was kind of a...
Yeah, but he wasn't... He took time off after
did.
Doogie.
Yeah,
he took a lot of time off.
Yeah.
Natalie's been in it the whole time. There's been people that have been in it the entire time.
I think Natalie was away in college for a while also.
She does, and she did take a break.
That's right.
You're right.
And lived a little bit of a real world.
You're right. These people. And to hear from the parents.
Oh,
my God. So this dude, Brian Peck.
Who played?
No, Brian Peck.
Oh, right.
Was the dialogue
I don't know
coach.
why he didn't go to jail for longer or why they allowed him back to do the same thing. I don't get it.
But what's weird is that Josh Peck has the same last name as him, Drake and Josh. Do you know who Josh Peck is? He's
sure do.
John Stamos' buddy.
That's right.
He was on a show with John Stamos.
Yeah, I know that. And he's always all over the Instagram. Yeah.
Apparently, the day or night,
obviously,
the night this came out, Josh Peck puts out an awful TikTok doing stupid shit. And then a few days later, he comes out.
Took it back.
His people must have said, "You have to say something."
Yeah, absolutely.
And now people are saying he wasn't impacted by this because he was like the chubby kid on the show.
That's right. He was the chubby kid.
Very
chubby. And they weren't interested in him.
I know.
What a shame.
All the sexual connotations on these shows, I was thinking.
Did you realize that?
Well, you have to remember, I wasn't a kid during these shows. I wasn't watching any of this. I wasn't watching any of this.
Because I don't remember watching it, because I would have watched with you.
Here's the thing. Pee-wee's Playhouse had a ton of sexual connotations, and we didn't realize it until we watched it with Lennon. We were like, oh my God.
Right.
Now, when I watch, let's say, Trolls, there's a lot of animated movies that have jokes that adults could get.
Right.
So they're on the bus and they're having an acid trip. I'm like, this is amazing. This is so funny. But kids with pickles and water splashing and toe sucking, I'm like,
wasn't just water splashing.
But I don't know if you would have watched those shows with me, Mom, because
I don't know if I would have gotten it.
No, because you would watch shows if you're a kid 6 and under. 6 and under is not watching those shows. These are shows that parents don't have to watch with. I'm not watching with Lennon, the Thundermans.
Right.
Lennon watches Sam and Cat.
That
girl's messed up.
Yes.
Jeanette McCurdy, right?
Yes, she is. Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean,
it was a really and I do recommend it if it was a really.
It was interesting. It was so sad.
It was very sad.
Now, I've worked with children before. Okay?
Yes, you have.
Number one, to work with kids, you have to have a background check.
Right.
Here's the problem. None of these people, I think, had criminal records. None of these. And I will tell you this, to work with kids is a pain in the ass because you do have to deal with the parents. But I remember on set, the biggest issue one of the parents had was lunch. The girl was gluten-free or this or that. But... it's annoying when you have the parents watching you, but I don't think I really understood it until watching this show.
Right, because you never know who the predator is.
Right.
And there are apparently a lot of them out there, especially they're always working with children. Apparently, they're always...
It was it was
awful. I kept thinking, I don't think we should let Lennon watch anything with Nickelodeon anymore because all the shows he's watching are older shows.
I know.
They're not...
I was watching the Thundermans with him last night. I was like, is this Dan Schneider?
Right.
Do you remember Dan Schneider from Head of the Class?
When I saw his face, I
was like, oh my God.
And I recognized him absolutely.
He was also in that movie with John Cusack from the 80s, the ski movie, before Better Off Dead. He was in an 80s movie.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Well, he's coming out now saying, like, I think he's making some apologies now.
I don't know. I mean, he wanted all those sexual...
He got all the sexual
but I don't
innuendos out there.
think
He didn't rape
touching
anybody, but
right.
he asked people for massages.
Yes, which...
So...
They should have hired a masseuse and call it a day.
I
mean, ridiculous.
was
Why
so-
didn't they just say, let's hire somebody to do this for you?
And, like, I feel really bad for these parents.
Yeah, they must
Because
have been devastated, especially the father.
Drake Bell's dad.
Oh.
Drake Bell's dad.
I mean, when they showed his father, he was crying.
I know.
Because he knew something was going on. He knew it. He said it. He knew it. And then his wife just pushed him out because this guy, Peck, got into the mother's head, got into the kid's head, and they pushed the father away.
And what's wild is because he was below age, nobody knew who this person was. Like, it was a secret that it was Drake Bell for all these years.
Well, yeah, they kept,
so
because of his age.
Right, but now that he's...
Right.
I mean,
he's older.
he must have given permission and said, I'll come out and talk about this.
Well, they filmed him,
I don't... Where is Brian Peck now? He's out?
God, I hope so.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he's not a kid anymore. I mean, he's not young. It's 20 years later? So if he was...
Ariana Grande, man. She made it out okay. Maybe.
Do we really know?
I don't know.
I mean, it seems like she did, but we don't really know.
Like, why? I'm going to say this one more time. Scripts have to get passed through so many people. I think even... By the way, this wasn't in the 80s or the 90s. This was like the 2000s, right?
Right.
This wasn't.
Yeah.
This wasn't.
Yes.
Clarissa Explains It All was the 90s. That was my show.
Right.
This was the 2000s.
Very disturbing. I don't know. I don't know.
Shame
I don't know
on
if
those
they
people
I don't know.
above Dan Schneider for letting that shit pass.
Shame on them. Shame on
and Nickelodeon coming out with like.
They just keep glossing it over. They're still glossing it over. We're investigating. Blah blah blah. It's not going to happen now. Things have changed. Bullshit.
But we recommend the special.
The specials, yeah.
I recommend
disturbing,
it.
but it's
And being in production, it was very upsetting with the gender discrimination, and just made me like just
cringe
and like, Hollywood now it's just so different.
We hope.
No, I mean like the work. Like, how do I explain this? Like, so many people are out of work right now.
Yes.
The whole game has changed. The whole media, everything is just changing so much.
Yes, it is.
But now, like with all these TikTok kids, like who knows? I don't know.
Who knows? Exactly.
Like they all have managers and agents now, these TikTok kids. And
everybody just wants to make a lot of money and be a star. They all want to be influencers or stars. They want to make a lot of money.
I know.
And I got to tell you, Lennon sometimes tells me, well, that guy's making blah, 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 blah. And I go, how do you know that? He goes, well, and he tells me, and I go, you don't know if that's true or not.
Like
I don't know.
YouTubers.
YouTubers, yes. He tells me what they're making.
I know.
I go, really?
This is the problem with YouTube now. Yeah. Is YouTube our new Nickelodeon? YouTube Shorts is our new Nickelodeon for these kids. Although, when I say to Lennon, get off of YouTube, you could watch a show he puts on a Nickelodeon show. I think it's wild that he loves Sam and Cat.
I know.
He
changes it from shit to shittier.
No. YouTube shit is shit.
Yeah,
I'd rather him. I'm sorry. I'd rather him watch Ariana Grande talk like this.
Yeah, I said to Lennon, does she really talk like that? Because I don't remember.
I don't think Lennon would know.
He doesn't know.
I will watch Wicked with Ariana Grande.
Oh, I can't wait for Wicked.
Okay, good. You think Lennon would see Wicked?
Maybe he would.
What a show, Mom.
Bye, Felicia.
I think it's time. Now, I just want to say a few things. My Bye Felicia segment was going to be watch Roadhouse and 3 Body Problems, but Felicia already killed that. March 26th, in a few days, Tig Notaro has a special on Prime. A huge fan of her, seen her live, and her wife is directing it.
Oh, good for them.
Love her.
Right.
Love. What do you have any big things that you're watching this week? Because you finished Netflix this weekend?
I can't even remember. Driving here, my brain went out of my ears.
Felicia, you killed you. I mean,
I was determined to get here, whether I was going to die or not. And trust me,
because it's in that car. Well, we recorded this on the rainy Saturday, and Felicia called me. She's like, "I don't know if I can make it. Oh my God, they're flooding. Oh my God." I'm going to tell you this right now, Felicia. We got to get you on the Zoom. We got to teach you how to use something with internet at your apartment so we could do this in case you can't make it.
I know.
We got to do it for the people.
Right, for the peeps.
All right? You guys, thank you so much. Please share. We're hearing that a lot of people are loving the pod. I think we hit 2,000 listens overall, so that's exciting. Love you, Mom.
Love you, Marn.
Bye, Felicia.
My Felicia, bye Felicia.